Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is Tuesday, March 28th, 2023. Lance Brock here on this Tuesday morning. And it's getting closer and closer to the biggest weekend of the whole year. And on this episode, I just want to talk a little bit about the 2023 class of the WWE Hall of Fame. This year, the headliner, the main event going into the Hall of Fame is Rey Mysterio. And I'm not sure if they'll work an angle into it with the match, him and Dominic at WrestleMania. I would guess probably not, but who knows? I'm sure he will probably mention Dominic in some way. But it's been talked about online about Conan inducting him this year, but Conan has said pretty much until WWE officially announces it that it's not for sure just yet that he will be. So who knows if Conan for sure is going to be inducting Rey Mysterio. I'm not quite sure who else would be. If it wasn't for the match coming up at Mania this weekend, I'd say Dominic would be the obvious choice, but with the match and the storyline, I would say probably shouldn't have Dominic induct his dad. But I am expecting, I'm sure Angie and Aaliyah will be there, and I'm sure it'll be a good speech from Rey Mysterio. And I'm sure the dog here agrees that it'll be a good match, or a good speech, I should say. And he's probably looking forward to see Rey and Dominic go at it at WrestleMania as well. And yesterday, it was announced Stacy Keibler going in, and most likely inducting her is Mick Foley. A little while back, Foley said that someone asked him to induct them into the Hall of Fame, but at the time he wasn't able to say yet, and nothing has been officially announced by WWE, but kind of looks like Mick Foley's going to be, because he did do a post on his Instagram yesterday congratulating Stacy Keibler, and he kind of put a tease in there. He asked any word on who will be inducting her, so he kind of teased that could be him. And really the only one that I would think that would be fit to do it would be maybe Tori Wilson. She was with Test at one time, but unfortunately no longer with us. And I don't know if Ric Flair's already inducting the Great Muta, or I'm not sure if they would actually have David Flair induct Stacy Keibler. If you remember, back in WCW, there was that storyline where David was with Stacy, and then she was going to have a baby, and then the plan was to be where Ric Flair was actually the father. And so I don't know if that would be a good idea to have either of them induct her. And like I said, Tori Wilson, they teamed together before, but I'm sure Mick Foley will do a fine job inducting Stacy Keibler. Oh, also, at one time, she was in the corner of Scott Steiner. And his relationship with WWE might have gotten a little better. The Steiner brothers went into the Hall of Fame last year. And the great Muta, which I'm sure will be an interesting speech going into the Hall of Fame. It's been announced that he's being inducted by the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and that will be as a rude helicopter flies by. Sorry about that. It's like that helicopter doesn't even know that anyone is trying to do a podcast while they're walking to work this morning. Like Stephanie Tanner would say, how rude. And get back to the great Muta. Besides Ric Flair, the only one I would really... Well, there is Gary Hart, but unfortunately no longer with us. And would be Sting, would possibly be a good choice. He also wrestled Muta in WCW and then was a part of the final Bye-Bye with Darby Allin. They teamed with Muta in that 6-man tag. So Sting would probably be a good choice. But of course, him being in AEW, not going to happen. But I'm sure if WWE actually contacted him, I think Tony Khan, I could see him probably allowing Sting to do it. Just like he allowed Sting and Darby to go over there for the final Bye-Bye show and team with Muta. And the speech, I'm sure, is going to be pretty interesting, like I said. Also, going in is in the celebrity wing is Andy Kaufman. Even though the most famous thing he did in wrestling was in WWE, but still, this is they kind of treat it more like a Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. There's some, like the Great Muta also, who haven't competed in WWE that are in. And I mentioned this before when it was first announced. The obvious choice to induct him would be Jerry the King Lawler. But hopefully his health will allow him to, after suffering the stroke about a month and a half, or maybe close to 2 months ago. We'll have to wait and see how his health is, because nothing's been officially announced by that. But like I said, that would be the obvious choice you would think to induct Andy Kaufman in. Or I was listening to Post Wrestling's Rewind to Raw just before I left, and they were discussing, if not Jerry Lawler, the only ones that could be a possibility, maybe Jimmy Hart or Bill Apter. But I definitely go with Jerry Lawler if he can make it there. And I believe that is it for this year's class. I don't think I'm leaving anybody out. And smaller class this year, but the way it's now is right after SmackDown, and that's probably better to do that and then just having a real big class, and then having each one of them keep their speeches short. Of course, the longest, I'm sure, will be Rey Mysterio. The Undertaker did go pretty long last year, but we will have to see. And that's all for this episode of Good Morning Wrestling fans. Thank you for tuning in case you missed it last night. New episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, recapping last night's edition, WrestleMania Raw. And hopefully we'll have more episodes of 360 Wrestling Fanatic getting ready for the huge weekend. And of course, every morning, GMWF. Hope everyone has a great Tuesday today. Hope everyone enjoys NXT tonight. Until then, keep watching pro wrestling.